Big Spring. This is ABC Big 2 News at 10.
Now at 10, the parents of a University of the Southwest student who died in a fiery crash while traveling back from a golf tournament have now filed a lawsuit. It's against the school for wrongful death. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Madeline Bierster. It's been a little over a year since the tragic crash left 9 people dead, including 7 of the university's golf team. It happened in March of last year when a van with several USW students and their coach were driving back from a tournament. A Dodge truck veered into the oncoming lane while they were passing through rural Andrews and hit the van head on. 7 passengers on the van, as well as the 2 people in that pickup, died at the scene. Now the family of one of the students, Mauricio Sanchez Lopez, is saying the university was negligent in its actions and should be held accountable. The family's attorney issued a statement today. He said in part, quote, "The university made policies and procedures with respect to how their sports teams would travel and when they would stay overnight and when they wouldn't." The attorney says the university's policy should have required the team to stay overnight in a hotel and not travel late. In addition to those claims, the lawsuit alleged the university also failed by leaving the school's coach in charge. The attorney continued to say, quote, "They did not properly screen the driver, the coach. They did not properly train him. They did not properly qualify him. They did not keep his hours of service. Quote, they did nothing to make sure that a commercial motor vehicle in this country should comply with," end quote. Now, the attorney says the family's hope is to enforce policy changes within the university and ensure similar incidents won't happen in the future. We have reached out to representatives for the University of the Southwest who say they are waiting to comment on the pending litigation. Another trial that we are keeping our eyes on is that of 4 Midland Trinity administrators. The group is accused of neglecting to report an instance of abuse at the school. Opening statements started the trial today, and we will have crews in the courtroom all week long. Be sure to stay with ABC Big 2 News for continued coverage. You can also get the latest updates sent right to your phone when you download the Your Basin app. New at 10 tonight, this man, Stephen Crone, was arrested this week after a theft investigation. Crone is the now former director of a nonprofit food pantry. Andrews PD says he is accused of stealing between $30,000 and $150,000 from the pantry. He's still behind bars tonight on a $50,000 bond. And now to an update on a story you heard first is breaking news here on ABC Big 2 News at 6. One person is behind bars tonight after a disturbance at the HEB on University in Odessa this afternoon. OPD says the suspect is now facing unknown charges and no one was injured, fortunately. We'll bring you more updates as they become available. Caught on camera tonight, the city of Odessa released this horrifying video of a deadly crash that happened this morning. This was caught off West Murphy and Business 20. We're told that there was a crash between a minivan and a pickup truck, and the truck was pushed in front of the train. Now, the person in the truck got outside safe, but one person in the minivan did die. The city says DPS is investigating.
Developing now on ABC Big 2 News.
Also developing now at 10, more concern over a drug that's impacting our communities, fentanyl. Local organizations are now stepping in to keep West Texans safe. This Saturday from 10 to 2, the Big Spring Police and the DEA will be taking back unwanted, expired, or unused medications safely. The program is anonymous, and it doesn't matter how you bring the medications. That will be outside Ryan Home on Main Street. Odessa police are also having a meeting for the community focusing on fentanyl awareness. That will be next Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the OPD classroom. There will be experts from local organizations there holding presentations to help educate the public. Here at ABC Big 2, we will keep bringing you the latest on the deadly drug and its effects ahead of National Fentanyl Awareness Day, May 9th. For more information about resources available to you right now, head to yourbasin.com.
And now your forecast first on ABC Big 2 News.
All right, Chase, it feels like a cooled down version of a West Texas summer already.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely feels like a mild summer day out there. It feels great.
It feels so great. And, you know, we're hoping for a little bit of rain, though we haven't seen that in a little bit.
Yeah, very true. Very true. It's been a while since we've seen that rain, and we could definitely use it after the dry and windy conditions that we saw today. Those winds were good enough, 37 miles per hour here in Odessa, Midland for our highest gust. Good enough to kick up some dust out there. So make sure to drive carefully. That dust is going to take a little time to settle too. So make sure to take any precautions as far as any allergens are concerned as well. We've got some clear conditions overhead, a little bit of green trying to show up there in Brewster County. That doesn't actually look like rain. First of all, you need cloud cover for rainfall. So this little green bit popping up without any cloud cover really indicates to me that's just a glitch on the satellite and radar. We are really clear overhead throughout West Texas as well. High temperatures made it up to 90 degrees here in Odessa Midland today. 81's the average, so we were way above normal. But I'll take a look at whether or not we continue this warming trend or cool down for tomorrow. First, back to you, Madeline.
All right, thank you, Chase. We go out live now to Washington, D.C., where the nation is still on standby for a critical Supreme Court abortion decision. The Supreme Court extended mifepristone's stay until Friday. That's delaying implementation of the Fifth Circuit's ruling, meaning wide access to the abortion pill, mifepristone, remains in several states.
It threatens to undermine the FDA's evidence-based scientific review process, and it will put countless lives at risk.
I think the radical abortion policies of the Biden administration are wrong, but at the end of the day, we're a rule of law nation.
The White House says whatever the outcome, it's preparing for a long legal fight, if necessary, to increase access to women's reproductive rights. And now to medical power of attorney. 2 out of 3 people do not have one established. That's according to a local social worker. ABC Big 2's Rick Dorsey sat down with the Hospice of Midland for a closer look.
That's right. Without medical power of attorney in the event of a medical crisis, there's no one to communicate your final wishes.
Medical power of attorney is often an afterthought until it's too late. With high emotions and difficult decisions to make, it can easily tear a family apart. Local social worker Regina Davis tells us how exactly to appoint a medical power of attorney.
At the Texas Department of Aging and Disability, you can print those advance directive laws at no cost to you. Or you can make an appointment with one of our social workers at Hospice of Midland or Hospice of Odessa. Or if you choose to pay for your medical power of attorney, you can contact a estate planning attorney, and he can help you put those in place.
The obvious question is, who do you appoint?
In choosing your medical power of attorney, you're going to want to select that person that you can give them your complete trust in making those health care decisions. It's got to be someone that no matter what your decisions are, even if it's contrary to what their principles and their beliefs are, they're going to honor your wishes. It's learning more about it. There's a website that's called The Conversation Project.
Rather than being reactive, be proactive. You can establish a medical power of attorney by contacting a local social worker, an attorney, or the Texas Department of Aging and Disability. Reporting in studio, Rick Dorsey, ABC Big 2 News.
If Hospice of Midland is not convenient for you, you can also check out Hospice of Odessa for your healthcare legal needs. Coming up, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin got some amazing news.